Hey guys, before we get into today's episode, I want to share with you about something I am hugely excited to announce, and that is the upcoming launch of the newest and best group coaching program that has ever come out of Overcoming Graduation called Master Your Day. This program is going to be a 3-month group coaching program focused on helping you not just achieve your goals, but to create enjoyable days, moments, and experiences on the way to those goals. As I've spent the past few years studying, researching, reading about, watching videos about creating a dream life, I've realized it is not the creation of, this massive thing comes together and that one big goal and then life becomes good afterwards as a result. It is a conscious creation day to day, moment to moment. So some of the questions I started to ask were, how do we do that? How do we create a dream day? How do we create a dream life? And how do we start to build the habits and the routines in those days so that we can have consistency in saying, I know I'm working towards my goals, I'm connecting with the people that are important, I'm taking care of my body, and I am getting things done. This program is all about that. We're going to go deep into mindset, identities, values, and how our identity shapes the way we show up in the world. Then we'll dive into goal setting, the most effective goal setting tips, tactics, tools, and strategies I have ever found to help you get clear on what you want and what your empowering why is. There are so many things that people will say about, set the right goal, it'll take you here. But if you don't have an empowering why underlying that, why are you doing this? Something you can check in with when things get really hard. That will be one of your biggest downfalls. It's something I've experienced. It's something I've seen. And when I have that why behind it, it changes the game. So that why discovery session is going to be one of the first and most important parts of this program. We're then going to go into habits because now we've got our why, we've got our values, we've got our goals, we've mapped out how we want to be pursuing these things. But how do we actually get rid of the bad habits and maintain the good ones? And not only maintain them, how do we implement new good ones? And how do we enhance them over time? Because the next section talks about efficiency and effectiveness. So now we've got our habits and routines. Now we've got our values. We're clear on our why. But how do we get better and better at doing the things that lift us up, make us most productive, and help us share our gift with the world? And the best part is you won't be doing this alone. You'll have me as the coach and guide leading you through this process, but you will also be surrounded by a group of incredible individuals who are doing the same work, who are working on the same things and want to share that journey with you. They're going to support you. You're going to support them. You'll be connected. And the whole way through, we're going to make sure that you're taking step toward your goals. You're dreaming bigger. You're acting bigger than you ever have. And you are demonstrating to yourself that the person that you have always wanted to be has been waiting there inside for you to unveil. That's what this program's about. I want to help you, and I want to get on a call with you to tell you more details to see if this program is the right fit for you. So if this program sounds like it's interesting, if this sounds like something you need and want in your life right now, I want you to contact me at brian@overcominggraduation.com. That's BRIAN@overcominggraduation.com. When you contact me, you can either send me a message on social media, you can shoot me an email and say, I'm in, I want to know more about Master Your Day. I will send you a link to set up a 30-minute video call with me. We'll talk through the program. We'll see if it's right for you. And if it is, we'll talk about everything you need to do to get on board and start transforming your life starting that first day. So remember, it starts July 17th, 2019. If you're interested, don't wait. Most people hesitate. Most people think too much. Most people go, maybe I could, or, we'll see, or, I don't know. Don't hesitate. Don't flip-flop. Don't waffle. This is the moment in the day. If this sounds right for you and this resonates with you, send me the message and we will get that call scheduled straight away so we can see if this program is right for you. Now, guys, I love you all. I'm so excited to share this episode with you today. So let's get into today's episode of the Overcoming Graduation podcast.
Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of Overcoming Graduation with Brian Drury, a show where I work to teach you everything I wished I'd known about habits and mindset to help you begin creating your dream life today. Today is another installment of the Morning Commute, where I take my ride to work in the morning to share a short but powerful message with you to help you kick your day off on the right foot. And today's message is this: I'll rest when I'm dead. You see, recently, there's been a lot going on for me. A lot has transpired recently that has led to a lot of self-reflection and looking inside, and a ton of inner turmoil and chaos and stress and anxiety and just madness. And even when I do the intros for this show, normally I'm like, all right, man, let's get the energy up, let's dive in, because I want, when a person first hears that intro, for them to hear the excitement and energy I have about doing this. But that isn't always the case. There are lots of days that I'm not feeling that energy and that excitement, but I want to generate it, because as I put that energy in and I start to create it, it cultivates and it grows itself. But there are some days I'm faking it. There's some days I'm like, I don't want someone to come onto the podcast and hear, hi everybody, okay, welcome back to the Overcoming Graduation podcast. It's like, but there are days I feel like that. And today, I certainly was not feeling 100% gung-ho. It's game time. Let's bring the noise. Let's share some knowledge with the world. It was like, hey, I want to do an episode. Because I want to do an episode. And some of the biggest things that have come up for me recently are this. Because we can get trapped in destination fallacy in a variety of different ways throughout our lives. For anyone who's new to the show and hasn't heard me talk about destination fallacy before, it goes by many names: destination fallacy, accomplishment fallacy. But what it comes down to at its core is the concept of I'll be happy when. It's a conditional requirement placed on life that says happiness cannot be achieved until a certain set of criteria or actions have been completed, some criteria have been met. It's saying, I'll be happy when I get the job. I'll be happy when I get the girl. I'll be happy when I get the salary or the money. I'll be happy when I live in a different place. I'll be happy when these people change. And as you can imagine, that is a recipe for disaster. Because what can happen, even if you use it to do a lot of good things, like it can drive you, and in many ways it has driven me to achieve some of my greatest dreams and make a really incredible impact on people's lives. But at the same time, it's where am I coming from? Because some people might argue, oh, well, success is worth it at any cost. And I would push back, not at any cost. Not at your sanity, not at your wellness, not at your well-being, and not at your wealth in the sense of holistic wealth, mental, physical, spiritual, emotional. Think about how many people we know and we see that are so successful. Oh, they're just crushing it in their business and their money, and oh, they're traveling. Look at their Instagram story. They are fucking everywhere. But in reality, the reality they face day to day, it's constant aches and pains because they don't take care of their body. They're in and out of the doctor because they have been ignoring their body for so long that it's finally raising its voice to the point where they have to listen. Guys, for years I have deprioritized my sleep, my rest, my recovery, saying to myself, I can push through. And then using it as guilt when I didn't. When I was so tired and I just wanted to sleep. You don't want this bad enough. You don't care about the people you're trying to help. You don't care about yourself and your future dreams, Brian. What the hell are you doing? You need to get off your ass and you need to get working and think about, you gotta grind and you gotta do all this shit. It's like, we see these messages all the fucking time on the internet, and especially if you're in the entrepreneurship circle and world, you gotta be very careful about the inputs that you have, about the inputs you choose, because if you follow a bunch of those, and you guys, my throat is very itchy, that's why I'm pausing. If you follow a bunch of those sites that are nothing but quotes and posts saying you got to get up and grind, and sometimes you're not feeling it, but you got to drive, you got to push, you got to, like, every quote is while others are sleeping, you're getting shit done, and you're this and this and this and this. It's like, some of those things can be true. And in moderation, or even at a majority of the time, can be healthy. But if there's no compensation on the other end, if there's no balance, if there's no equilibrium created, your body will get worn down. And this is coming from someone who did it and has done it for years, for most of my life. And here's the other creative, wonderful, beautiful realization that comes from this, is that I was using my exhaustion as one of my greatest excuses for not enjoying life. I'll be happy when I have energy. I'll be happy when I don't feel so damn tired. When are you going to stop feeling tired? Well, once I have enough success or financial wealth or security to be able to just relax. Well, when's that going to come? I don't know. I'll know when it comes. Really? Will you? How many people are saying, I want a quality relationship? And we go, well, what does that look like? And they go, I don't know. I'll know when it comes. I want someone who amazes me. Well, what amazes you? I don't know. Like, so often, we're either not defining what it is that we know we want, or we're ignoring the things that our body is telling us. We have these signs, and it's not just physical. In fact, oftentimes it's very much emotional. My emotions are constantly erratic. Brian, you haven't slept more than 6 hours in 2 weeks, and you're sleeping poorly because you're so stressed about all the shit that you're trying to do. And it's like, my muscles, I just feel sore constantly. Yeah, because you're not getting enough sleep, or have you been eating enough protein, or have you been putting junk in your body? Sleep and rest are things that for a very long time, I was saying, I almost saw them as a waste of time, or something where I had to earn it. I don't get to rest until I earn it. I don't get to rest until I finish a podcast. I don't get to rest until I do my 18 self-care exercises. I don't get to rest until blank. But what happens on the days where you're burnt out from 90 days in a row doing that shit? What happens when you're sick? Oh, you haven't earned it yet. So then I feel guilty for lying on the couch and resting. I feel guilty for sleeping in. It's no fucking way to live, guys, because that whole quote of, I'll rest when I'm dead, yeah, if you practice that, that'll come a lot fucking quicker. Something that my mentor helped me realize was that there are many things in my life where I was... Oh, hang on. Driving, guys. Like I said, these morning commutes are very real. Hey, guys, my throat is super fucking itchy. I'm trying to, scratch it quickly between words. But you may be hearing some uncharacteristic pauses. I think I'll need to pop some Claritin once I get to the office. But anyway, so my mentor helped me realize that I was putting unfair stress on myself to be something with an unclear goal or objective or way of measuring that success. And the other thing is, something that has become very, very prevalent in my mind recently, is that if I'm not enjoying the process towards my goals, towards my growth, towards enhancing relationships, what's the fucking point? Because you spend about 99% pursuing and maybe 1% of the time in the actual event or moment itself. It took me over 2.5 years to publish a book. It published in 1 day. And then it's done. It takes time to put out podcasts. It takes time and energy to put together show notes, set up automation, put together the right keywords, write out a description that is interesting and captivating, pick a clever title, put it up on your hosting platform, get the episode edited, and put in your intro music, and then record it. I mean, it takes a deceptive amount of time. my morning commutes were a creation so that I could, one, call myself on my bullshit of, I don't have time. And so where do I have time? So, well, shit, I talk on the phone almost every day while driving. So, how about that? And just taking even a one-way. Because I have a 15-minute commute. I'm like, that's a short episode. That's something that people is a little more easily digestible. Something they can just pop in on their way to work or maybe even at the beginning of their day. But still, it takes time. And so I realized I was just creating all these things in the thought that at some point it'll get easy and fun. At some point I'll just start liking editing magically by itself. Even though I'm not a big fan. Like, if I had my druthers, I wouldn't edit, I wouldn't do show notes, I wouldn't do those things. But yet a part of me goes, I like doing the show notes because I want to make sure we capture the magic of this interview, of that person, of the amazing lessons they've shared. It's a great way for me to revisit and review and deepen my understanding of the lessons. But at the same time, I'm like, I just love the recording. I love the connecting. That's the piece I really love. So, you know what? I'll just keep pushing and pushing and pushing. I'll do more. I won't reflect. I won't look back. I'll just keep pushing. And guys, a big piece of this, it's something I've realized and I've thought about intellectually, but I think there's much more work to do to release the response that has been created by this thought. Because my mom died when she was 56 and I was 24, because I saw cancer destroy her in 9.5 months. And I even hate using that word because it didn't destroy her. It destroyed her physical body. But it did not destroy her. In fact, my mom was able to stay her up until the very end of who she is and show her strength. But I saw her die. And when I did, I had the most powerful, intense example and lesson that nothing is guaranteed. That we're not promised time on this planet. That nothing had ever touched me that closely. And I was finally seeing, shit, it doesn't just happen to other people. People don't just die or get sick to other people. That can happen to our family. It could happen to me. It could happen to my friends. It could happen to my loved ones. So I said, I need to do this because I don't know how much time that I've got. I need to put out as much as possible. I need to share as much as possible because what if I died tomorrow and I didn't put out this message and this could have helped somebody? It's pretty intense. Even just talking about it. And what I've realized is the messages will serve people more and more if they're coming from me at my best. If they're coming from me rested, cared for, with healthy fuel, and with amazing relationships in my life. I'll rest when I'm dead. Oh, that's sexy to put on Instagram while you're working late at night. Yeah, but how do you fucking feel? Because I've been there time and time again. And if you feel great and you're loving life and you're pushing and you're grinding and that brings you tremendous joy, great. Still make sure you get rest, but great. But if you're not happy, you're not feeling good, you're feeling exhausted constantly, and guys, this has been most of my adult life. Yeah, I've been able to push through. I've been able to experience incredible things. And although some of the things come from this place of fear or limited time, they also come from a deep place of love. So I want you to recognize that the things you're doing, it isn't just one thing. I care about people. I care about myself. And I want people to live their best lives. So that's why I do this. but it's also recognizing all the varied motivations that exist within you, finding the ones that are healthiest, sticking with those, and then letting go of the rest. All right, guys, that's going to be it for today, because I need to get inside and get some Claritin in my body and blow my nose, because my body's all itchy throat and everything. But if you have not already subscribed to the podcast, be sure to do so on iTunes, Stitcher, or Google Play so you get the most up-to-date episodes on your phone, on your tablet, on your jerry-rigged, home-created computer system that you built out of spare parts. Make sure you subscribe so that the episodes are popping up right when they come out. And if you'd like to reach out to me directly to ask about something you heard in an episode, to share some feedback, if you'd like to contact me for speaking engagements or for any of my live programs to bring to your office, your business, your family, you can feel free to reach out to me at brian@overcominggraduation.com. I love you guys. Thank you all for listening today. And as we wrap up, think about where in your life you're prioritizing some arbitrary goal over your wellness. And how can you put your wellness back where it needs to be at the top spot so that everything outside of that benefits, grows, and has greater joy and greater light. I love you all. Have a great day, and I'll be talking to you again real soon.